Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be learning about international organizations. So now we're talking about groups of people from different countries working together to solve issues. And this can be as large as entire countries or as small as a handful of people. And so now we're expanding our view past the borders of the United States. So there are two types of international organizations. And the first one is intergovernmental organizations. Intergovernmental, not to be confused with international. And these are formed between three or more governments, and they come together for a specific purpose. And I've highlighted in pink over here world hunger. That is a problem. It also could be HIV, malaria. There's multiple issues going around in the world. Terrorism, war, stronger countries oppressing smaller countries, a whole bunch of different things. And how they work together is they share national experts and resources. For example, our top scientists might get together with other top scientists from other countries and try to solve, water pollution in, Kenya or something like that, or in a country that's experiencing their industrial revolution. And then they might share resources. Maybe one country has some resources that another country doesn't, or they're sharing technology. They're sharing to achieve the goal or purpose. Our second type of international organization is the non-governmental organization, also known as NGO. And these, again, work to solve problems around the world, but they're not connected to any government whatsoever. And that lets them be free to work towards their goal without government interference. They don't have any funding from governments. It all has to be privately funded, but they are free to solve an issue as they see fit. And we're going to learn about one coming up. The rest of the others are going to be intergovernmental organizations. And here are the examples. The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization. And this was formed to keep the peace and develop friendly relationships amongst the nations. This was formed in 1943 during World War II, and it was in a way created to be better than the League of Nations, which was formed after World War I. And the UN, as it's called, is meant to be a place where different governments can get together, hash out differences, work together, coordinate, and sometimes actually be a peacekeeping force. The UN has a military, and every country contributes to it. NATO. NATO was formed in the 1949. It was formed in response to the Soviet Union and the Soviet Union becoming more powerful. And what this is an alliance of countries that will protect each other in case of attack. So let's say that during that time the Soviet Union attacked a member country of NATO. That means that all other members of NATO would attack the Soviet Union back. And it essentially was an alliance. You attack us, you attack one of ours, you attack all of us. The third one is the European Union, also known as the EU. This helps European countries avoid conflict by having them depend on one another economically and politically. It ties them together. This was in response to World War II because in World War I, World War II, it featured European countries attacking one another. The idea is that if you make them connected politically, they will not attack each other. And also, this was to help them out economically because you have large countries like Russia, United States, China that have very strong economies. And so they wanted to band together to kind of create their own, economic power. The fourth one is the World Health Organization, WHO, started in 1948. It is a part of the UN, and its goal is to seek to improve the health around the world. There's a malaria outbreak. If there is, for example, the spread of Ebola in West Africa, the World Health Organization was involved in trying to stop it. It's about trying to improve the conditions of certain countries when it comes to health, hygiene, trying to basically make sure that everyone is healthy, either through making sure that they have clean water or making sure that diseases are not spreading. The World Bank was created in 1944. Again, another part of the UN. So far, we've only covered intergovernmental organizations. And this helps poor countries get money to improve their country. And the goal is to end poverty. So member countries of the UN, they contribute to the World Bank. And if countries that are poorer need money, they can go to the World Bank. And the World Bank will give them money to help them, build up their infrastructure, improve their health care, improve their education. And the last example is the Red Cross or Red Crescent. It's called Red Crescent in countries that are predominantly Muslim, and it's called Red Cross in all other countries. And this is a non-governmental organization. This is the only one that I have listed right now. There are plenty of other non-governmental organizations, but for our purposes, this is the only one. All the other organizations that we've covered are intergovernmental. This is the only non-governmental. And this helps people around the world. That's just a general outline of what it does. It responds to disasters, war, and more. Disasters, if there's a flood in a country, if there's a flood in the United States, if there's a natural disaster or man-made disaster, the Red Cross will be there. If a tornado was to come through or hurricanes were to come through Florida, the Red Cross will be there, handing out supplies to people, handing out clean water. When there is war, the Red Cross will be there for the people that are in the middle of a combat situation. It's near area of fighting, or they will go into both sides' prisons and see how they're treating their prisoners of war. And the Red Cross is something that goes in and they, are you taking care of the prisoners of war? And there's more. There's a lot more that they do. And so in a nutshell, we ask, what do international organizations do? And they help nations in need. There's many ways that they do that. They keep peace in countries on the verge of civil war or countries that are in war. They help keep the peace. For example, the UN. And they provide education or medicine to other countries. That'd be the World Health. They may help educate how to stop malaria or how not to get a certain type of disease. These are international organizations. We have intergovernmental organizations. Those are organizations that governments organize, that governments are a part of. You have the non-governmental organizations. Those are private. They have freedom to operate as they see fit. You have, as examples, the United Nations, NATO, European Union, the World Health Organization, the World Bank, and the Red Cross and Red Crescent. We are going to look more in depth to these today. And so with that, guys, I'll see you guys next time.